So I would like to ask Ms. Pion to stand and join us as we unveil her portrait. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2. There we are. Well, all of our programs search for ways to improve intercultural understanding, to enhance appreciation of persons of different backgrounds and cultures across lines of religions and race, etc. We look for special programs that will sort of resonate with the general community and advance the mission of the Harvard Foundation. We know that all of the portraits on the walls were those of white males. We're not going to move those. We're just going to say that in the little space in between, can't we place a woman's portrait who's contributed tremendously to the Harvard community, to the advancement of Harvard? Or in the little space over there in between the two men, can't we place a person of Asian American background who served Harvard with distinction for many years? That's simply what we're trying to do. And in so doing, hopefully inspire our students, create a greater sense of appreciation of people of all backgrounds. So it really fits in with our mission. And it's one of our, I think, most impressive and one of our proudest, if you will, projects that the Foundation serves.
In the portrait collection, there are about 750 paintings. The students, 2001, 2002, did a survey of the portraits around campus and went through all the buildings and counted up how many women's portraits there were and how many Asian people were represented and how many African American people and so on. And the results were very dismal. And Dr. Counter went to the president of the university, who at the time was Lawrence Summers, and asked if there was any way that he could help fund this project, and he very generously gave $100,000, which at first we thought maybe we would be able to commission 4 or 5 portraits with that money. But Stephen Coit was so helpful and so generous and willing to do portraits for us at much less cost, and so we've been able to do many more than we had ever expected originally, and we're hoping to be able to do around 20 with this funding.
I think this portrait project does as much for me as it does for Harvard. The people I get to meet and the subjects that are still with us are preeminent scholars and fabulous people. And I really enjoy getting to know these people and getting to know the history of Harvard they represent, the contributions they make and the changes they represent. It gives me hope for the future, too, for Harvard. And I look forward to participate in this project as long as the Foundation asks me. I'm thrilled with this project. It means a great deal to me. I think it's actually quite expected and predictable that a couple of the portraits that the Harvard Foundation request would be of white men, because the process of bringing diversity to Harvard had to be led by white men, because Harvard was led by white men at the time, and people like Fred Jewett and John Monroe held those positions and did bring change to Harvard.
All of the people that are selected to have portraits made of themselves have been people who have served the university for multiple years, 20, 30 years. And currently we're working on the unveiling of Professor Leigh, who served the college as professor of music and also served the college as housemaster of Cabot House. And essentially what the unveiling entails is we bring together different spheres of the Harvard community, students that are currently attending the college, professors that might have known the person whose portrait's being unveiled, and the family members to share in the celebration of the portrait.
As someone who has both lived and taught East Asian language, music, and culture, as a scholar who has transcended disciplines, as a teacher and mentor to so many, and as a treasured colleague.
This is a wonderful dream. I cannot believe it. But just thank you and thank you. Thank you.
Unveiling is just as important as the portrait itself, at least for the community that's here right now, in terms of raising awareness of the work that these faculty members have done.
So I remember Dave Evans' unveiling portrait was a lot of fun for me to interact with people who I interact with all the time, Black community, but at the same time, you know, they got to speak about the importance of Dave Evans, what he's meant, things that we talk about in private, but it got to be talked about in a public forum, and it was great just to see a lot of people, a diverse crowd in Lamont, just recognizing this man who has literally changed the face of Harvard and just made sure that a lot of minority students who are talented even have the idea that Harvard is a place for them.
I think that after seeing the impact that the different portraits have had on students throughout the campus, it's really important that we make this a priority, that we continue with the Portraiture project, and that we continue expanding on the number of portraits that go up and the people that are represented within them.
If I were a painter, I would paint my reverie. If that's the only way for you to be with me, we'd be there together, just like we used to be, underneath the swirling skies for all to see. And I'm dreaming of a place where I could see your face, and I think my brush would take me there, but only if I were a painter and could paint a memory. I'd climb inside the swirling skies to be with you.